Part 9, DB Swallow, Dronsfield Bros, full restoration and regrind. Welcome back. This is part 9. Now, since the last video, I was hoping to get most of the painting done, which I have. So I've given the main of it 2 coats now of British Racing Green. We'll have a look at that in a minute. And the cutting cylinder, that's had 2 coats of red, and the rear roller retainers, they're red as well. Other than that, the rest of it's all green. So I've had quite a good week. Got on with it quite well. But I don't think today's a good day to assemble it. The paint has dried, but it's not going to take an awful lot of handling, I don't think. You can just feel it's just a little bit tacky. So I really need to leave it a bit longer. But today's video, I think what we're going to do, I'll show you what I've been up to, and then we're going to have a go at putting the roller together, because it's quite interesting, this roller. The way it is, it's not an idea I've seen before, but very interesting and simple, which is the key of these things. So we'll put that together and then just run through what we've been. So let's get my glasses, and then I'm going to get you closer, and then we'll get cracking with this video. So, right, let's have a look. So, the rollers, they've had 2 coats on those. The handlebars, they've had 2 coats, and obviously it was brushed on. I think it's come up okay. There's the gear case. So the final touch with that will be probably putting some gold over the writing there. So we've obviously got that. The cutting cylinder, that's had 2 coats, as I said, 2 coats of red. That looks quite good. The bottom block or blade carrier, that's had 2 coats. So that's done. And I'll swing you round and I'll show you the rest of the bits all hanging up. So we've got both side covers and the adjuster and the roller brackets. So they are hanging up, just finishing drying. Well, they are more or less, as I said, but I don't think it's going to take a lot of handling. But anyway, we're going to put the roller together and make a start. I've also got the bearings which need pressing in to the side cases. Both of them need pressing in. So I'll probably use the press to get those in. I need to be careful with them. Let's have a look. They're over here somewhere. Here we go. So those are the bearings, and they aren't very special bearings. I've not seen them those type before. Obviously there's a tapered cone that fits and presses on them, and they're adjustable, so I don't quite know what I'd do if I completely broke those, because I don't suppose I get any. They are definitely a little bit odd, those type. You've got like the ones they fit in the Suffolk, which are an outer, and then you've got your race that sort of drops in with a cone, but these are fairly different. So I'm quite glad they cleaned up okay, and they seem to be okay. And I think if I pack them with grease, I can reuse those. So anyway, we're going to do a little fettling first, and then we will put this roller together. We'll go through this roller. So let's get you where you can hopefully see. That's good. Now, as always, when you're painting, I think no matter how careful you are, you always seem to get a bit of paint. Sort of, not that it matters too much, but you know, you sort of get a bit of over paint on some of these bits, and some of that you won't see. But I think it's quite nice to just tidy it up a little bit, and then yeah, it just yeah, I think it's quite nice. So we just tidy some of that up a little bit. See what I mean? It's still a bit, you go, even though it. Probably with a bit of white spirit we get that off probably. Diesel, whatever that was in there, let's try a bit of that. Now, luckily, I think I'd say we did notice these rollers are handed. Let's get the other one. We've got, you can see it hopefully, on half of the right hand side, and so hopefully you can't go too far wrong regarding the rollers. What we can do though, we can put the axle round the wrong way. So just before we start that, we'll just make sure that I'm going to put the axle round the right way. The axle, there is only one way for it to go to work. One end there's a pin in, and the other end there, that's the end where the gear will go on. So we do need to get this right. Right, I think it's probably, we're going to be okay. As I say, you're not going to see those when the roller's together. So yeah, we know the rollers, we know we've got the right and the left that side there. So I think the easiest thing to do is just so we get it right, I'm going to get one of the side covers. Let's get the gear cover down. Gear case, which, there we go. So that's the side with the gears. So we're going to assemble it so the axle is that way. So as long as we do that, and then we get the right roller on the right side and the left on the left, we should have a roller that diffs and engages as it should. So we'll leave that one as it is. So I think, well, we went through this system they've got. It's very simple, and I like it. The more I see it, the more I like it, because there's no springs. And it couldn't get much more simple than this because it just relies on gravity. So we've got our little 4 pulls, and it literally, whoops, that one stuck to my sticky glove, relies on gravity. So obviously as you turn it, loosen. Very good system, very simple. I mean, whoever thought of it, it's quite clever because they can be overcomplicated, these things, and that's very simple. So I like it, I think that's good. The only thing that we mustn't do is we mustn't put any grease anywhere, because if we do that, they're just not going to work. So the only thing I think we're going to do, I'm just going to squirt probably a little bit of a sort of maintenance type spray just to stop that going rusty. Both of those. There was no point painting that. Well, it never would have been painted anyway. So we know the way the axle's got to go. What we will do, we will put a fairly generous portion of copper slip on the axle because we want it to just rotate nice and smoothly. So I think what we'll do, we'll take these out. So we'll do the right hand side first. So we'll put a nice generous layer of copper slip there, keeping it away from the pulls. Good. So we want our right hand roller, which is that one. Okay. Now, I think what we might do, do we need to prop it up? No, I don't think we do. So we'll copper slip the other side. Let's take these 2 nuts off. Right. So the next thing we need to do is put our pulls in. So let's just drop them in one by one. Now we're going to offer the left hand side roller up. So I'll put that on. So again, it says left. Right. So all being well, if we've done this right, when we push the machine forward, it should lock this up, which it does, and then if I hold the axle, both rollers should freewheel. Right hand one does, so does the left. So the only thing we need to do now is we need to put our little retainers on. Just wiping that copper slip off the axle because we don't want them to slip. So we've got these 2 little fellas there. Both the same, they're slid on the shaft, and then you tighten them up. You get your end float right, which is just a tiny bit of movement, and then tighten them up. So we'll just put a tiny little bit on the threads here and make it, you can see I've painted the bolt black. I did that because once you've got these in, if you want to paint the screw bolt, it's very nearly impossible to do it. So now is the time to do it. So let's get that first one on. Do that. So we'll tighten that one up. So we're not going to tighten it up too tight just for the moment. So we'll swap it round again. So we've got to do the same the other side, wipe the copper slip off. And then the other one, again, we'll put a little bit of copper slip on the threads. Don't know why, but it's probably just me, but I just like to have them lined up. It makes no difference at all. When I say lined up, the bolts in about the same position. Looks about right. So we'll knit that one up. Right, we'll turn it back round to its correct position. So again, when we push this, it should engage, which it does, and if I pull it back, lovely sound. That's both rollers. Lovely. Now there's a little bit of, well, there's wear on it, but I don't think there's anything to worry about on this. I think I might just push those in a little bit. Quite tight now. We don't want these to come undone. So we'll do the same with the other side. See if we can get it in a little bit more, just to take a little bit of the end float. A tiny bit of end float's fine. Just see if we can get a little bit more of it out by pushing it in a bit more. Make sure my screws are lined up. Yeah. So let's turn it back round again. Good. Tiny bit of end float. sound nice. There we go. So we're going to put that is for the, that will go on with the side cover, and obviously it will tighten up the bearing once we've got it in there. And they give you 2 nuts. Once you've got your correct bearing adjustment, then you lock the other nut up against there. So I think the roll is as good as done. Job done. So we'll put the roller to one side. So you can see, yeah, I think I did show you, I've started painting up some of the nuts and bolts, satin black, just to finish it off. And the bar that goes through the blade carrier, there is one which I haven't painted yet for obvious reasons. So this one I'm going to do once it's all assembled. If I paint that up, I don't think I'm going to get it through the holes. It's a fairly tight fit. So that one I will do. And on the end it's got that rather neat little eccentric adjuster, which will allow you to balance your blade. It's cutting a bit heavy on one side, you can use that adjuster and that will take that out. So another good little idea. Very simple, very good. So a short little video just on the roller and a little bit of fettling. So I'm going to leave it a bit longer, as I said, because I think it would just pay to. I know if we start handling it, I'm just going to spoil it. So I'm just going to be patient. And the next video will be on. We will put it together, hopefully set it up with the cut, get the gears on, possibly get the handles on as well. And I've got to also turn up some wooden rollers, so that'll be another little job. So I might well do that. But anyway, a little update. That was part 9. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I wish everybody a very happy Christmas, and I will see you on the next video.